See the truth reflecting back in 1,000 different eyes.
Welcome back to the Fathers Making Progress podcast, where we talk stronger communities through stronger families, which we acquire through stronger fathers. Today's episode is Faith, Legacy, Leadership, Fathers who build, believe, and pass it on. We're talking, some fatherhood, legacy through the power of a good story. Some men have money, some men leave a name, but tonight we're talking about having something that lasts. We're talking about legacy. And joining us here today, we got the Reverend Dr. Walter Lanier, a longtime member of several different movements around building stronger men, through not just stronger men, but just stronger community leaders, period. Yeah. Through MATC, through, Brothers Keeper, through, the new initiative that you all are doing.
Black Men Organizing.
Church. Yeah. The churches, of course. Yeah, definitely. And just a leader who's leading nonprofit leaders through just mental health exercise, including myself, who you almost forgot about that one. Yeah, including myself, who you are really providing a sanctuary for those of us who are leading movements that are doing the work. And we have my brother, joining us again, longtime FMP alum, Fathers Making Progress inaugural board member, master storyteller, brother Shawn Mitchell, joining us here again. Thank you for coming back, brother.
Not a problem. No problem. Couldn't wait.
Yeah, and thank you for being here.
Glad to be in the house.
Glad to be here.
So the way this works, we usually talk about who you be. We're gonna do some facts or cap. We gonna do just a little blueprint. And just kind of finish out with some rapid fire. But first and foremost, I want to thank our sponsors. Hey, I got this snazzy T-shirt on. So I want to thank our sponsor, Better Together. The FMP program that is building a new day for co-parents. So hey, baby mama, baby daddy issues, come on down to us and we'll help you resolve them. That's what we do, to hear more. But first and foremost, we want to roll out. We roll them titles back and just talk about who you be. So who are you as a man, as a father? Talk about who you be. Who want to get started?
Well, who I be is Shawn Mitchell. I'm a veteran, husband, father, urban citizen. We can talk about that. But, I'm just a human who breathes in and breathes out. And I go through every day trying to appreciate the other humans around me, trying to learn from them and trying to give back as best I can. And story has been a way to learn about culture without having the borders put up to listen to someone tell their story. I mean, that's one of the greatest things ever. Before we had pencil and pen, we told stories.
That's right. Man, and I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm getting jealous, man. Look at them locks. Look how them locks flowing on him, man. Looks good too. Looks good.
It's been a project of love, man. My last grandson, I said I wasn't gonna shave, until he came.
Oh.
I grew my hair. And then he came, and it's like, well, why stop? I shaved up the beard a little bit, but my hair kept growing, so I just kept it up. So now when he sees me, he grabs my hair, like, that's that thing. And the rest of my family is locked, so it's easy to keep up because they all got to keep their hair up.
You join the club.
Join the club, man. And who you be, sir?
Who I be? Walter Lanier. If you met me before 1988 and played hoop, you would know Jack is my nickname. You probably didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I was talking to somebody earlier today about that, Derek Rogers. So yeah, but Walter Lanier.
Let me find out you was a baller. Hold on now.
Why wouldn't it be?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I could get up and down the court and get up above the rim. Now I just look at it longingly. And you want to jump off the first stairs, too high. But Walter Lanier, been in Milwaukee since 8th grade. Before that, I was in Detroit. Born in Buffalo, New York. So all these Rust Belt cities that have great talent, but are underdeveloped. All these cities that have been deindustrialized.
Oh, yeah.
Where our grandparents or the previous generation had solid jobs and could take care of families on one income and now can't, and we're still suffering. We're about to do that again when we hit the AI season, and so I have a passion, Terron. That's really where my passion comes from, because I've been blessed to navigate Buffalo, Detroit, Milwaukee well, and move and groove and achieve. But I know there are plenty of brothers who can't, who got the same tools and equipment that I do, and so
real.
I want us to be better, stronger. I want us to get together to work more effectively, to make a difference. I expect us to get together. When I say us, I'm talking about everybody, but in particular, fathers, black men. A father to 3. My oldest should be 34. Yeah, we're 34 this year. My son is 32. My youngest is 27. Been married 34, happily married 34 years.
Let's go. Okay, yeah. Let's give it up for that.
34 fast years too. It went quick. I can't believe it.
You ever look at your old wedding pictures like, dang, we was young,
and thin. That's like a universal deal, man. I remember looking at other people's wedding pictures, and they always thinner.
But you talk about those Rust Belt cities, and it's funny because I'm from Flint, Michigan, so I share in that too, man. It's just like I literally moved to Milwaukee in a situation where I watched my hometown die, man. Schoolhouses turn to crack houses, and then it's like, I come here seeking a better life, only to start seeing that happen here. Like around the time I came in, neighborhoods that's wild. But it's funny, like you said, the hoop drinks, and he said, "Why wouldn't I?" Because something I always forget, Brother Lanier, you are also like NBA Hall of Famer Bob Lanier,
in the lineage, yeah.
NBA Hall of Famer Bob Lanier is your father, man.
Wonderful man.
Yeah,
and that's a lot of who I am in community in terms of striving to have an impact, make a difference. I mean, I sound like Bob right now. Those are two of his favorite words. He's all the time. He'd ask me, "Did you make a difference? Did you have an impact? Did you make a difference? Did you have an impact on somebody's all the time?" He was very consistent in terms of those core values. He's well loved everywhere he went. In Detroit, favorite son. Milwaukee, favorite son, especially in the community. And so he was always the same guy, whatever room he was in.
Yeah, I remember. I was at a Pistons game. I was a kid. I remember this. I remember, because when you were a little kid, you don't know who people are. Who's doing But I never forget that. He just stood up and everybody just started cheering. Yeah. I just remember. I remember, and I just remember my dad oh, that's Bob Lanier. That's number 22. Big. Yeah. Well, they say he called him old 22 because he had 22 size 22 shoes. Yeah. But that's where your community passion came from. It sounds like that's
that, and being a good father, because he raised. The older you get as a father, for other people's, your own kids, and for other people's kids, the more you appreciate. If you were blessed to be raised by a father, a good father figure, man, I'm glad that man was in my life, and I learned some rules and some principles and how to conduct myself, how to carry myself, how not to make excuses. How to be gracious, how to be firm, how to be disciplined, how to persevere. So, the older I get, the more I appreciate. I'm thankful to God, to have the father that I did.
I'll say.
Yeah. Far beyond basketball, too, by the way, because the basketball part was cool, but those principles applied to life.
And it's funny because just going back to 5 minutes ago, it's like, I didn't know the basketball part. I didn't know you played ball like that. But I definitely see the community. I mean, I've seen the community since I've known you, and that's heavy. And it came from the same source. That's a beautiful thing. Brother Shawn, you mentioned being a veteran. So how did that service, shape the man and father that you go on to become?
Oh, immensely. My family has been serving in the militaries of the United States since the Revolutionary War.
Jeez.
There's a member of my family in the military right now, in the Marines, and a few others. I think we still have one in the Air Force. We try to keep in touch with them.
Okay.
I didn't know that until after I had joined the military. I was following behind my grandfather, who was a Navy man, and I had an opportunity at 17 to go, so I dropped out of high school. Cussed out by my principal with my recruiter right next to me, who was only 2 years older than me. And I took off. They would come back and forth to get me, talk about community. I used to play spades with my mother.
Yeah.
As her partner.
Okay.
And one of the couples we played with all the time, the husband was actually a recruiter. And I was at their house one day, and he had all the pictures of every place that he had been. He was on the back of a camel, and he's in uniform, and just this whole wall of his military history, his Navy history.
You were sold.
So I started telling him about my grandfather and all of that, and he was like, I knew my grandfather had graduated from Great Lakes, so I graduated from Great Lakes. Mm-hmm. My grandfather had been stationed in Norfolk, Virginia for his first deployment. I was stationed in Norfolk, Virginia forever. So for me, the military is really important. I grew up in the Navy age 17 to age 30.
Yeah.
Right, coming out at age 30 with 2 sons, a single father. And then I found out that my father also was in the Army. I just reconnected with my sister, who was born in Germany.
Okay.
In 2024, and we're looking for my father now.
Yeah.
And as you know, fatherhood is very, 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 very important to me.
Yes.
For those reasons. Growing up without a father, I was fortunate to have male figures, thanks to Sister Clara Muhammad.
Yeah.
We had a brother named Brother Daoud Abdullah, who became like my ultimate mentor for all the wayward young boys in Sister Clara Muhammad School. So it taught me a lot. It gave me a lot. It really helped me later on in the military. You talk about male influences outside of just your father. They're extremely important. Mm-hmm. You have to see these young men, and you're not filling in for their father, but you're doing the things that men do, and they will see. They may not get it right away, but we're supposed to be the network that's there for them every time they fall to bounce back.
Most definitely.
Right? I can't, people say, I ain't going to keep doing the rest of your life. Some of them we're going to have to. Some of them are just that altered that there's always going to have to be somewhere they can come and restart, no matter what happened in their lives. And fortunately, I think FMP does that.
Oh, yeah.
We have a lot of returning citizens. We have, men who are at their edges. We had a young man who was blind. Mm-hmm. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Oh, yeah. Safety net, because it's like, we... And even if things are all good and growing and great, it's just like we still never arrive. It's like, people can be, it's like everywhere from, like you said, everywhere from down and out, destitute, things are tough. I needed space to kind of rebuild myself to, I done rebuilt myself, or I come built in a certain way, but it's just like, I'm a custodian for all those who are behind me, and it's who saves Superman. Like with all with all this on my back and all this on my shoulders, where can I go? So just building those spaces, like you said, and there's no time limit on that. And in some cases, we could be talking about the same guy. That could be the same guy, from taking care of everybody and everything else to some things might happen. Life happens, right? Falling into destitute or falling into to tough places, or and destitute. In tough places. I mean, I know this. We talking about from a spiritual standpoint. Sometimes have nothing to do with money.
I was 50, going back to MATC.
Yeah.
Right, and was able to be an intern for Mr.
Yeah, most definitely. Right? Mm-hmm. And we rebuild and we start all over.
We do.
Yeah.
He taught me so much. He's always teaching me something. Always challenging you. You're not going to get by with just, okay, right? But we need that. We have to have that.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. Yeah, definitely. So I just want to throw this out there, like, that storytelling gift. Where did that storytelling gift, people call you the master story, where did that storytelling gift come from?
Always like to talk crazy. And in my era, you had to be able to weave a story. Right? I come up in the B-boy era. And hip-hop or rap or whatever was an extension of dead poets, other poets, Gil Scott-Heron and things.
Yeah.
And you had to really tell it. They're telling a story. Last night, a rat bit my sister Nell, right? But Whitey's on the moon. those things, like those stories that impact you, that impact thing again. You know, there's an art to storytelling. We tell stories every day, but I enjoy that. I enjoy the personal stories, right?
Yeah.
People share. I enjoy the impact that my personal story may have with someone else. I also really, really enjoy helping people bring out those stories.
Yeah.
Right? There are certain techniques that we use to bring those stories out. When you see people come in and feel like they don't have a story at all, they have nothing, and then they leave out with a 3 to 5 minute story, they're in tears.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's an amazing energy.
And it was awesome. Like just even a couple years ago at the Kwanzaa celebration, just because Brother Shawn prepped some FMP guys to be able to come in front of the community, and tell their stories, and it was just a beautiful things where I think, and I think people in the audience, you know, it's just so funny because all of us don't get that closure. I mean, we talk about this all the time of a man just getting up and just being able to be vulnerable and talk about his journey and why some things might not have happened the way that they were supposed to happen right away. And, you know, because there are people in the audience definitely who I'm sure thought of their own fathers who they'll never get that closure with, you know, and they were able just to kind of get some of that. Hopefully, you know, I'm just like, hopefully we can always give people that, and the healing, of course, for the men who are telling the stories, you know, no doubt.
It's a precedent for my sons, my grandsons, my granddaughters.
Yeah.
Of what
legacy.
Legacy.
Yeah. So, what role does faith, you know, play in fatherhood, even for men who aren't religious?
Wow, that's a great question. I mean, faith, even if you're not religious, you know, faith is about seeing and believing that which is not yet seen, which is not yet manifest, in spite of what your natural eye might tell you or your mind tells you. Faith is saying, okay, here's a set of facts, situations, or circumstances, and maybe I should be down or low or defeated or give up. But I believe there's more. I can't see it. I can't necessarily logic my mind to it, but I have a spark, a light. I have a hope. I have a belief that there is more than my naked eye. I have a belief that my family can go further. I have a belief, in spite of, you know, my father-in-law, who's brilliant, man, now got a bunch of degrees. When he was in 8th grade, he couldn't read, coming out of I think Rolling Fork, Mississippi, and was illiterate. But now he's, you know, got degrees, and he's 80-something. He's diagramming sentences in the Bible. He's a pastor. You know, so you have to answer your question, some belief. Becoming a father, right? You a father, there ain't no manual. I mean, it might be now, but or maybe y'all need to create one. You know, you can get some books, but really you become a father, especially if you become a young father. You're like, man, as a matter of fact, when that's one of the things my father helped me. When I became a father earlier than I expected or planned, no, you can handle it, you know. Relax, take a breath. You can handle it. I don't know what to do.
Of course you don't.
But so to answer your question, that belief in a better future that can now drive you to act today.
That's deep. Like so when I'm hearing that fatherhood, like it's almost like charting a course. Like, you know, I got this destination in mind. You know, at least somewhat in mind, and just kind of charting a course. You know, in leading the family towards that course.
It is, and that's like vision. You know, Bible says without a vision, people perish. I have to have some sense for where I want to go. Like I dropped out of high school. You know, I was well-equipped and healthy household, but I had no vision. I had no concept. I didn't have a thought for my future. Right, in spite of, and I think also I was experiencing depression. When I look back in my life, when I look back and I think about how I felt, what I was going through, I think I was experiencing depression at age 17 and 18 and didn't know it. So I had no vision for my future. And so to answer your question, you know, the faith and fatherhood, I have to have some faith that it can be, that there's a future for me and for my family, then walk in somebody's got to walk with some confidence. Yeah. Somebody got to walk with a little bit of swag. Somebody got to stand tall and say, we got this, even if you don't know how.
I'm
You know,
glad you
that's- yeah.
mentioned the depression, because a lot of times it's just like still to this day, sometimes that's a taboo in our community. It's like, what role does mental, and this is for anybody to answer, like what role does mental health play in being a strong father and a strong leader? Like,
Well, yeah, I'll touch a little bit on it because in
Yeah.
the church where I pastor, we have a mental health ministry. It's called Miracle. It's like 12 years, 13 years old, 2012, 14 years old. We launched it in 2012. And first of all, just the ability to acknowledge I'm not well.
yeah,
Not doing well today or tomorrow. Hey, bro, you good? Yeah, I'm good. I'm straight. You sure? Yeah, man, I'm good. Yeah, you good? Yeah, I'm good. You know, because we wired for that. But on some days,
I'm good. Just
Yeah.
throw it out.
Yeah.
Just put that shield up.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
yeah.
You know, agonizing. It could be your wife, your girlfriend, your child, your guy, your teacher, your pastor, your dad, you know, your boys. But the ability to acknowledge the reality of mental health, mental illness, mental wellness. You know, on some days I'm not good, and it's not find a safe place to say it, but do acknowledge it. You know, allow yourself that to be human. We don't have to be Superman. You know, and then find some safe places where you can dialogue and share. You know, if you need to make your way to therapy, do that. But so to answer your question of fatherhood, I think allowing our kids to know, which is not easy to do as a father, you know, that I'm, you know, some days I'm not all right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. That's yeah.
But you got, you know, if you got some people that love you, they'll receive that and learn how to create space for you.
You know, and I've learned like some days I'm not all right, and this is another one I've had to learn. I might not always have all of the answers, but it's like I'm here and we gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
We gonna figure it out together if we need to.
Yeah.
You know, like
I'm
you know,
always
the world-
committed to the solution.
I'm always committed to the solution.
I may not have an answer, but I'm committed to the solution. But I'm also committed to the not the constant reminder, but the preparation. Right? I know things that I prepare you for. You're not gonna listen. But I'm prepared for when you don't listen.
That's good.
Woo!
There's some things you can't prepare for, and I tell mine a lot. You know, just try to keep, you know, if you're going to get in trouble, at least get in trouble for something I can get you out of.
Yeah.
Right? There's a spectrum of things that
yeah.
our daddy can't do nothing for you but show up at court.
Oh, yeah.
I apologize. My oldest son was in a situation, and I didn't have a father growing up. So when I became a father, I took on this view that any child in my purview was in my care,
That's right.
That's powerful.
right? Because, you know, growing up, being vulnerable to everybody without having a protector.
That's right.
Once I got a chance to become a protector, even before being a father, it was, you know, that thing. And that's a family thing, and that was a thing brought up in, you know, Colonel Muhammad, things of that nature. So my first son is adopted
Yeah.
in a way. Me, his mother, and his biological father had come to an agreement where he would sign over rights.
Okay. Yeah.
And he was probably about 3 or 4 years old at the time. So he's grown up with me all his life, and
That's right.
I'm the only father he's known. You know, he was also a local basketball star, and we went to court with him one day because he'd gone to another school trying to fight another child with some other friends or whatever.
Yeah.
First time he had ever really gotten in trouble that I knew of. So, and I only found that out because we went to the high school to change his emergency contact, and he was sitting in the office with the police officers.
Ooh.
We get to court, and when you go to court, there's people who sit in front of the judge,
Yep.
and then there's the judge. All those people who sit in front, that's all your information. Everything about you. They're passing your folders around.
Yeah.
They're putting all the stuff in here,
Yeah.
right? And the folders are color-coded, right? When, you know, if you've got 3 or 4 of them, that means there's a lot going on with you.
That's right,
In
yeah.
the system, right? So as we get up there, there's 3 or 4 of those. He tells the judge, that wasn't me. They're all driving things. He's been stealing my car, getting caught. Shouts out to Judge Mosley. Thank you very much. Right. Judge Mosley looked at him and laughed. He's like, "You're 6'9". There's no way.
There's no hiding. My friend is 6'9".
Shout out to Judge Mosley.
And I see your father didn't know any of this, so I tell you what, you made him a deal. You get a license and other things. But I said all that to say that you have to have faith in your child.
Oh, yeah.
You got to have faith that they're going to make mistakes, that you're going to not have all the answers all the time, right? But that commitment to getting it right can never die. It has to stay because roadblocks are going to come up you have no clue about. You know, people they come in contact with. And my oldest son is 35 and our youngest is 14. And we have 5.
Them boys.
And we've been, you know, Uncle Shawn to hundreds of kids around the country.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because wherever I go, that's kind of my thing. I want to be involved in the community. I want to be involved with children. You know, I want to be a faithful resource that you can come to and get the truth. I don't always have all the money. I ain't got all the special connections, but I will tell you the exact truth, and I'll be with you as you go through the process.
Hey, and I've seen it in action, like, you know, not just in with the family, but you know, even just with the boys at Shalom, and just how
right.
like I've seen it in action. And
we did a whole series at Shalom with my grandson.
Yeah. Yep. That's right. The car seat right next to Shout out to baby Malcolm. Well, he ain't even no baby no more.
He's not.
A little, yeah. Oh yeah. Gosh, man, time be flying. But just to hear you say that though, like that, like, hey man, you know, I got to stand in this gap, and I've decided that I'm gonna stand in the gap in this way, because it's like, who knows who else is there?
Who knows?
You know, that's heavy.
It's powerful.
I want to throw out facts of cap. You know, facts of cap. So this is where we do, you know, some myth busting. You know, I'm gonna throw out a statement, and you tell me if it's facts or cap and why. So legacy is only about money and material things. Facts or cap?
No, that's cap.
Cap.
Legacy is about your story. The story people will tell about you when you leave.
Ooh.
That's your legacy.
Ooh.
The monuments they will put up, the flags they will fly, the stories they will tell, will be the feeling they will get when they see your picture will be my legacy.
I got another one. A man has to be perfect to lead in faith. Facts or cap? Cap.
There is no perfection, one. That's a stronghold. You try to be perfect and be depressed all the time.
Oh.
2, we learn from our mistakes. 3, we got to let people know, especially if you're fathering, that I made some mistakes. Really knowing how to move past them through your mistakes. It's part of adulthood, part of manhood, because you're going to make them. So no, far from perfect. I stumbled and I got up. I fell, I got up.
And those flaws, because how you just like those flaws making you more relatable. Like, and that was something I had to That's something I had to learn. It's so funny. Like, I was just so, like, with my older 2 sons, I was just so focused on keeping them out the streets. Like, you know, and it's like, and it's funny, like, just knowing, and like, just what I came from, and just some of the things that I see. Like, I never forget when they got a little older, when they would start to say things like, Dad, you wouldn't understand. You've never been through anything like this. And it's like people laughing, but it's just like really? Like, that's right. Like what?
That's right.
And our producer, who's known me since I, did what and whenever to stay above water.
Yeah.
Had 3-4 lockers full of contraband in high school.
3-4 lockers full. You were doing it,
man. But I'm just saying, like, but it's just like, there is power, like you said, in those stories and in those failures and in those fallibilities and just being able.
You can't hide them.
Yeah,
can't
for
be
sure.
hiding them.
For sure.
Can't be hiding them. Daddy messed up.
That's right.
I spent too much of powder water. I got to get it together. It's gonna be beans and rice now this week. Y'all gonna be mad, but it's gonna be okay.
Facts of cap. If your kids are grown, your fathering job is done.
No.
Cap.
I just posted the other day. Fatherhood is a lifetime endeavor.
Oh yeah.
Get that 18 out your mind, man. Stop that. That's, if you worried about not having to pay somebody after a certain period, then that's cool. Whatever, man. But really, you gave of yourself to reproduce something for the rest of its life and yours.
That's real. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still learning with my sons. I'm still growing with my sons. I'm still teaching with my sons, and now my grandchildren. This is a lifetime endeavor. If you don't want to have it for the lifetime, wrap it up.
That's real.
And I want to add on to that in a different piece too, because sometimes it's the old school. You 18, you out the door. But there's another thing that you have to watch out for too in fatherhood. That point in time when your kids are pushing away from you, and then you like, okay, well I'm gonna give them their space, and that's a little bit like double dutch.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they need their space. But sometimes they need you to really move in there with them
Close that space.
And close that space. But it is double dutch because, so it's not absolute. Okay, I'm going to leave them alone there. So no, right now is actually the time we really need to be leaning in. And they telling you one thing with their mouth, because they feel grown or whatever. But right now is actually when they need your presence. And so you got to be, willing to walk through the uncomfortable too. And it's for them. When they need to still see the standard, hear the standard, or let's go another place with it, feel the love. Okay, so you messed up big time as my child. None of mine have done that. Thank God I did it. But I still love you. I don't agree with what you're doing, but the love is still here. And so sometimes they need to hear that, especially us. When I say us, I'm talking about males.
That's right.
Whose what do you call it? Help me, Lord. Frontal lobe develops later. I don't think I had any frontal lobe from from 17 to about. There was no executive function, no proper common sense. So we just do a lot of goofy stuff, to understate, and but they need to know.
You ever had somebody remind you of those old stories like, man, you did blah blah blah.
Oh
blah.
yeah.
And it's like you say like, man, that ain't happened like that, but in the back of your mind like that happened just like that, like that.
My wife will look at me at times and be like, "Oh yeah," because I'm screaming at him or something. She's like, "Oh yeah,
yeah."
See, really? That's how we do it, really?
Right. See, my wife, she met me after the fact, so it's hard for her to believe when I tell her some of the Jack story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're always fathering. People always need to. And let me just, since you're on it, let me throw one more on top of that.
Oh yeah.
There's also fathers who didn't have relationship, right, with their kids. Now they've had grown adult kids, and they think it's too late. And I can think of somebody. I have somebody in particular in mind, and they were thinking it was too late for like 30 years. It's like, bro, you can't keep you had 30 years. You could have been establishing relationship instead of saying it's too late. And then if you talk to the kids who are now adults, they still crave relationship. So there's still an opportunity. We're humans. Let's go into the faith thing. There's always an opportunity. There's a risk involved, but there's always opportunity to cultivate relationship.
I am on a journey to find my father, Ernest Lee Mitchell. We have been looking for this man. He's still alive because we can't find his death certificate.
Okay.
But that's, it's that thing. I can.
Yeah.
He is me, and I am him, regardless. Guilt does me a certain way, so I'm sure guilt does him a certain way. And for you to say that, I always feel for him.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's been so long, it's hard to turn that road back.
Yeah, it is.
Right? You think about the things that you've done, But I forgave him years and years and years and years ago, understanding fatherhood and things that happen and family things. So, now finding out that I have a sister and probably other siblings, it really, really, really heightens that need to find him.
Man, that's real.
Have you dipped your toe over in Ancestry.com?
We have. It's a weird story.
Yeah.
So there was a young woman who was violently murdered in St. Louis, and her blood related to mine. So they reached out to me, the forensic genealogist.
Wow.
Reached out to me about our family as a whole, the Mitchell family as a whole. And part of our agreement, so me and my newfound sister forwarded her our Ancestry.com DNA.
Okay.
So she's helping us find Ernest.
Amen. Ernest Lee Mitchell.
Ernest Lee Mitchell or Ernest Lee Miller. born in Paint, Arkansas, which isn't even Paint anymore. You know? But a lot of times we have older gentlemen, because we have older gentlemen in our our organization.
That's right.
Older gentlemen who don't know how to find people.
Yeah.
Right? It is difficult to find people.
Yeah.
And you don't have things, and they want to make it back.
Yeah.
They want to make it back. They just don't have the wherewithal, and they don't have the resources.
Yeah.
And they don't have DNA tests sometimes.
Yeah. Or don't know how to go about it.
Right.
Definitely.
But it's never too late.
It's never too late.
It's never too late. And if you're just starting out, it's never too late either. And as Terron knows, I'm gonna get off my horse here. If you're a young father and you're just finding out you had a child, or you got one, this other, right? You need to find a place.
Yeah.
I always say this, and I'll say this to every young man, every young father I see: find you a place. Secure a place where you and your child can be safely all day, every day. They need a space. I don't care if it's a corner in the living room. Whatever they have, whatever you buy them, whatever they bring needs to be there every time they come.
Yeah.
You got to do that now, right? That's your first step. Do that now. Secure a place for yourself and that child. You got more than one child, whatever it is. When they come to your place, it needs to be consistent. It needs to be clean, and everything they own needs to be where they left it.
Yeah.
Right? And you're going to have to do that. Stability, you're going to have to do that. Right? You have to do that, because that is going to help. That's going to be their safe place to be able to think, to be able to thrive, to be able to ask questions, to be vulnerable. Right? Just because you got a video game, don't make it a home. They've got to have their space, and it's got to be clean, and it's got to be consistent.
That's real, because
That's
we don't all have we didn't all have a safe place. We all don't have a
We didn't.
When we
They're
talk about
not clean and consistent.
fatherlessness, like that's a big part of it. Yeah, that's real.
For all children, but especially for young men.
And I know we run out of time, but I just wanted to touch on this because you mentioned 34 years, and I say this, live in front of people. I've said this to people. I think I've said it to you, but I said it's like, I know this brother Shawn and his wife, man. And it's just like, I just think, no pressure or nothing, but it's like, I just think they have one of the dopest relationships I've seen, and I just really, just like black love and how the family came together, and I just really, just appreciate that in those spaces, and I just wanted to honor that, and your 34 years, man. You want to
Man, it's first of all, I'm blessed. I'm very faithful. I'm very intense. I'm very driven. So I don't know that I'm not going nowhere. I may not be easy to be married to, just because I just. So my wife is a better wife than I am a husband. I'm very well convinced of that. We work extremely well together. We're still 34 years later, still learning one another, which I think is beautiful. The idea of continuing to learn somebody until death do us part, that caught my being early on in marriage. I get to learn this person for the rest of my life. It went quickly. It really is. We don't argue a whole lot. We bump heads every now and then on some stuff, but not rarely. And so it's been fun, and it can remain fun. We started out early. Our son, who you will both have met my son. He was not alive when he was born. They didn't expect him to last a night, so we were 2 years into marriage and went through that traumatic life situation, and we stayed and bonded, so that brought us closer together. And so we're in it to win it, man.
Oh, like that cannot be overstated. Like just those traumatic experiences, man. Just throw it out there. And Shawn know what I'm talking about. It's like, because we both have lost sons.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Through the course of our marriage, and that can be some hard stuff to navigate, brother. Like just the wear it puts on your relationship, the wear it puts on,
on you.
But yeah, on us, on her, on me, and just everybody mourning and everything, in their own way, and just dealing with the trauma and what it means in their own way, man. And that, just to be able to navigate through that. I love how you put that, like we tie together closer.
Oh, we did, yeah. I'm just in early too, and and so we're once you make the commitment, we're in this together, I'm gonna do no harm, you're gonna do no harm. We're gonna bump heads every now and then, but I ain't going nowhere, you ain't going nowhere. Then you can start to like mellow stuff out a little bit. Okay, we can figure this out. Okay, I didn't figure you out today. I was way off base. All right, I'm gonna try again tomorrow.
But it's not over.
Or vice versa. Yeah, we can try this again. So it's been, I can't imagine, like, dating.
Oh, geez, no. Oh, man.
In 2026?
Nobody.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, but it's good.
Just leave me alone.
Yeah. So now I'm blessed. Like and then also I'm appreciative of the opportunity to represent. Like I'm humbled. I won't say proud, but I'm honored to kind of represent Black love. Not like we're the thing, but we out here, we just living, we doing it. Yeah, it's doable.
Wave that flag, baby.
Yeah,
wave that flag. Wave that. That's why I had to throw that out there, because I won't. Let's
Black love.
I mean, because the thing is like, the nonsense and the dysfunction is loud. Those who are who loving on each other and got stuff that's stable and building and wholesome, man, wave that flag, please.
Yeah.
Please, we need to see it.
Yeah.
Something we're developing, and like part of urban citizenship is urban love stories.
Urban love, I love that.
These urban love stories, and they're love stories in
Sign me up.
Go from different ways, right? And it started. I read a story about a gentleman who was enslaved in the South, and his people had moved out west. He bought his freedom, and he went from farm to farm to farm, from the South out west to almost to Utah, trying to find his family.
Jeez, yeah.
And he found them.
That's deep.
Right? And there's thousands of these stories. They don't just have to be the, slave stories. They're,
No, I'm glad you brought that.
So urban love stories. There are people who have passions about things that they won't let go of, that have provided things for other people that they never had. Right? We have the artwork in Watts, based on the riots, things of that nature. There's generations that have grown up in that artwork, that have been impacted by that artwork, and that's out of somebody's love, right?
Yeah.
So that's an urban love story.
I love it.
We love those things.
Hey, man, I love it, and I love that, man. And I love this. We are at the end. We out of time, man.
Okay.
Man, this is we got to run this back. We got to run this back. We got to run this back. So I mean, the stories, right? The stories that carry us, the faith that builds us, and leadership and fatherhood and mentorship is some of the things. We have to. Those of us who can and those of us who are able to have to stand in the gap for others. That's part of fatherhood. Fatherhood extends beyond those who are your blood. It extends to community. It extends to our wives. They extend to our families. And showing up as a big uncle, brother, cousin, grandfather, etc. Man, thank y'all so much for coming.
No
thank
problem.
you, Dr. Lanier.
Thank you.
Man, thank you, Shawn. And this has been it. This episode again has been brought to us by Better Together. Co-parenting evolved. Come on down. There's still an opportunity. The QR code's right here in the corner. And if you are listening and you're not watching live, you can't see this on YouTube. If you're not watching on YouTube, just go to fathersmakingprogress.org and sign up. It's a new day for you and your co-parent. Because best believe it's like, you won't get your answers at the courthouse. You won't get your answers downtown. It has to be, no one loves that child more than you and your co-parent.
That's right.
So, hey, we'll help you through. We'll help you build tools. We'll help you build a new day. And with that, we're signing off. Thank you again to our guests. And till next time, be present, be positive, and stay making progress. Peace.
Fathers making progress, F&P. Every day I strive to be a better me. Whole lot of scars, couple felonies. I know a lot of gang, that's why they scared of me.